-2 and counting. It's Fignon who's in pole position as of now, or Le Monde, who's promised us that he's going to take the chase for this year's yellow jersey all the way to the line in Paris.
It's possible to take a minute out of him.
So it's fight all the way?
Not, maybe it's going to be a difference of 10, 20 seconds, but it'll be a very close Tour de France. He won't win. He won't beat me by 50 seconds.
Fignon's got those 50 seconds banked. Remember, the finish this year is a time trial in Paris.
I will have to be very strong, at least as strong as Greg, so that he doesn't beat me and that he gains little time over me.
Well, it's one of the closest races for years, and the next couple of days really should be a bit special. But let's concentrate on this one first. Another teaser today. Can Sean Kelly cap a marvellous personal tour with a stage win? Phil Liggett is at the start and in the bar.
Juliana, très bon.
Richard, it's not always like this at the start of every stage of the Tour de France, but we're in the village for the last time today, the last road race, of course, as we head up towards Paris and L'Île d'Abo. You know, Sean Kelly is yet to win a stage, and as the man who wears the green jersey, he notices that because he wants to win a stage. You always feel you should if you have won the green jersey as the most consistent daily finisher. Kelly has said he might win today. The course certainly suits him. It's very flat. It finishes on a 14-kilometre circuit. And also tomorrow, Kelly has even hinted he might win the time trial. Well, we'll see about that. This Tour now, a battle between two men. Delgado is out of it. Laurent Fignon and Greg LeMond will take it all the way to Paris. It's still going to be a great race this last weekend. And this, for me, is a sad farewell to the bar. Chef, santé.
Les vignerons Pérousset lèvent le verre de Juliana à la santé des téléspectateurs.
All the best to all the viewers on Channel 4. Cheers, Richard.
And he's been trying to tell us that it's all been hard work out there. Let's check the overall classification, shall we? It hasn't changed that much over the past couple of days. Fignon has that 50-second advantage over Le Monde. Pedro Delgado is third, Gert Jan Teunisser fourth, Lajaretta fifth, and Motte sixth. And the stage today, 20, starts at Aix-les-Bains, 127 kilometres, 79 miles to L'Île d'Abo. It's nice and flat, so we don't expect too many fireworks from the leading two. We'll keep our eyes instead on Sean Kelly. Phil, any signs of an attack?
Well, only attacks of sorts, Richard, because this is the first day in the Tour de France when the riders have really enjoyed themselves. It's hot and it's very humid, and we are still about 18 miles from the finish, so very soon they'll be going through the finishing line, but of course they then face that 14-kilometre or a 9-mile loop before they come for the sprint seriously. And the riders have had their moments of fun. Earlier on today, Laurent Fignon, in fact, lent his yellow jersey to Teun Van Vliet and put on the Panasonic team colours, and then they switched back. Laurent Fignon now back in the bunch here in yellow. And really, it's as you join us, these are the first attacks that we've seen all day. The TVM rider on the front trying to get things warmed up a little bit to see if he can shake things down for Phil. He tried and failed in the Alps to improve. There's Fignon coming out with Phil Anderson on his wheel. So Laurent Fignon now showing his speed again towards the end of the stage. I will not be surprised to see Greg LeMond appear rather quickly this time.
Well, there's Fignon just stretching his legs a little bit. I think he's playing cat and mouse. He wants to show the boys. There's Phil Anderson smiling almost behind him, just going to show that he's still strong, and if they want to play around, he can anytime.
And there's a reaction from the field. Still no LeMond, but I'm sure Greg will be up soon. In fact, when the attack started about 3 or 4 minutes ago, Greg LeMond was sitting as last man in the race, having a laugh and a joke. But once the message gets back, I think, then he's going to start moving back up. This is Patrick Tolhoek in the lead, and as we look at the flowing locks here of Fignon, replaying the cheek of the man coming out in front again. And there he is, Fignon joining Anderson, Tolhoek, Acacia de Silva. The first yellow jersey of the Tour de France after Eric Breukink in the prologue time trial, of course. And Da Silva now a long way behind the pace. The man from Luxembourg that gave us the start to what has been an exceptional Tour de France. And you know, tomorrow it could go down as the closest finished on record, because surely Le Monde will eat into that lead of Laurent Fignon. The question will be by how much. Fignon has never beaten Le Monde in a time trial stage of the Tour de France over the years. And so if we go according to the statistics, then Le Monde is going to beat Fignon again. But as I say, the question is by how much. split forming, Paul.
Well, there was Jesper Waugh from the Cafe de Colombia team taking it away, and looks one of the ADR there.
Kilometre circuit. We know that Stephen Hodge has gone into that front group. So too has Jean-Marie Wampers, but the breakaway has only just gone off the front of the pack, trying to steal the thunder away from Laurent Fignon as the enormous cheer that went up then as he came through in the centre of that pack. This is the leading group, and as you can see, nobody willing to set the pace. Stephen Hodge looking over his shoulder, but as in fact is everybody here. Michel Dernisse, the rider who started this small split, also here. But none of the sprinters. And Henk Lubeding, second from the back, riding his 13th Tour de France, now looking certain to finish it. And also Mauro Gianetti on the back of that breakaway, the man who was last overall for a considerable portion of the Tour. They're all fanning out as they're deciding now who's going to take up the chase and maybe bring this race back together again for a bunch sprint. These are the men, in fact, who would like to see their sprinters up here. We go back to the race at the back of the bunch, and a gear adjustment for one of the PDM riders. And in fact, this is Johannes Dreyer, the team that's winning the Tour de France overall this year. It's been a hard battle with the Delgado's Reynolds team. 10 riders then trying to go clear of the field.
Well, Phil, the problem with Dreyer there was he looks like he's picked up a plastic bag in his gear, and the mechanic was having a lot of difficulty getting out there. At that sort of speed, it is difficult and dangerous for the mechanic because he could lose his fingers. This is a big danger in a race like the Tour de France because so many free things are being given out by the publicity caravan that some of them get blown onto the race route, and you can pick them up in part of the machinery.
It's quite a tricky little finishing circuit, this. One or two short rises, ideal for attacks, and now they're coming. This is Sorensen having a go to catch the two riders who've broken away. It'll take a little while for this to settle down, if it's going to be the breakaway that counts. So we have Patrick Tolhoek, one of those four riders up there. It's amazing, but they're not going to hand any stage victory to Sean Kelly on a plate. It's noticeable, though, that we have not seen any of the PDM team at the front here. And I would have thought that they will come to the front shortly when they can sense that perhaps they can hold this race together. We feel that this might be Thomas Wegmuller of the Domex team. Or it's either him or Jan Goossens.
He's got a good gap going away there, Phil, and it looks as if at the front of the bunch here as if the organisation is going out of this chase behind, and one or two riders are trying to jump away behind.
So this looks like Goossens, in fact, who's gone clear, and he's now trying to break the elastic. You can see how these short rises, they really hurt the riders, but it is the only chance of springboarding away. Goossens keeping the gear going, gritting his teeth. Normally they change down a gear here and pedal up the hill. Instead, they just grit their teeth and keep pushing as hard as they can. And we're looking at the number now. It is indeed Jan Goossens who's made the move. The French are saying it's Jesper Skibby. They'll get it right soon. Goossens is the rider, and just look at his face here now. Totally committed, 100%, hoping and praying he can keep it going for what is about 4 kilometres to the line.
It's a good move here, Phil, by Goossens. He's the rider who actually at the end of last year nearly won the Classic Bois-Cheville, and there in front of him is the Red Kite. He's not got very long to go. He nearly pulled off a victory in that race there when he got caught just in the last kilometre.
And look at the pack coming up behind them now. The final chase is on. It could still be a bunch sprint, you know. They're showing the Red Kite there. Fignon looks to not be too interested in the sprint today. He's dropped away as we come up towards the finishing line now. Jan Goossens is going to win. Domex have wanted a team victory desperately because they say that the team which only came into the sport this year is going to end its involvement by the end of the season. Their team leader, Adrie van der Poel, never showed form and dropped out of the Tour early on. But the whole field, you know, are going to be right on him. This is going to be a tremendous sprint finish because once the pack get into top gear, they just eat anything alive. And Goossens is coming back at a rapid rate. He's going to get caught about 400 metres from the line. Then watch out for Sean Kelly, possibly, because Tolhoek is up here too. As the riders now go for the line. And that is Jelle Nijdam, I think, who's trying to go. Kelly on the inside, but he's boxed in and out of it. 200 metres to go. Sean Kelly trying to come through in the centre. Bunyo on the left. It's going to be very close. Kelly's still making progress. It's not going to be quick enough here. Bunyo, will he be on the line? No, it won't. Yes, he thinks it will. And in fact, it wasn't the sprinter Bunyo who took the stage. It was his teammate there, Giovanni Fidanza, who took the line. A rider who we haven't seen for about 2 weeks. But he's come back at the time when it matters because he's found his sprinting legs again today. And there he is. So Fidanza, it was on the line, who takes the stage victory for Chateau Dax. And we can see now Fidanza on the left of the picture here, squeezing out the last ounce of energy as the line comes up. Kelly just getting in on the action in the centre of the picture and taking, I think, third place.
Sean Kelly desperately close, and he won't get much closer and not win. Fidanza got it, in fact, by the rim of his wheel from Nijdam, Kelly, Hermans, Bowmans and De Wilde. Consolation for Kelly, the green jersey is his and he's earned it. The overall classification, well, that changed nothing at all today. Fignon will go towards Paris tomorrow with his lead still intact. Robert Miller is 9th, Sean Kelly 10th. The riders were quickly away from the finish today in order to catch the TGV, the French high-speed